Hey, I'm Chris, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. I've come back to this YouTube channel a little bit more lately, because I'm off my social media at the minute, and it's probably going to be that way for a little while. And I figured, this is sort of a mode of expressing, and that's something that I feel like is therapeutic at the minute, and yeah, yeah, I appreciate this little legion of friends I have on here who support my silly music and my silly spoken words and things like this. And obviously, I really appreciate it. So, the little friends I have on here, I thank you for watching. This in the very soon future, I am hoping to I'm joining a few like spoken word clubs and stuff, and I want to just practice reading stuff. I'm not very good at reading things, but I like to practice that a bit more. And this is a sort of spoken word or like piece called Shadow September, and I kind of wrote it in the middle of a breakdown in September. Kind of goes as to say, it's kind of interesting when you write down sort of these journal diary. It's not really a diary, but it's like a diary, but it's like interesting when you write down these sort of pieces in time, because you kind of realize in hindsight that your internal self is trying to communicate something with your actual self, and it's just kind of interesting, right? To sort of observe that reality, and especially in hindsight, because you can look back and you can see like, oh, that's what that was, because maybe through metaphor and through language you sort of disguised or didn't really realize. But then maybe in this piece, I think it was the beginning of realizing, and suddenly being aware that things were wrong, and that I had to confront this shadow part of myself, and this was the sort of beginning of that realization, and it was all pretty sudden, because I've spent quite a lot of that year just not really confronting it. So yeah, this is Shadow September. I'll try to read it out in as interesting of a way as I can. So hope you enjoy, and thank you for watching. Shadow September. Real people stay real, even if life doesn't feel that way. I tend to exist in the crevice between bitter and false, and that's how I forget what I am holding on to. When I'm granted a slice of power, I devour it. Self-pity is found in my middle name, but some people, they call it an appreciation of the feeling palette. My decisions are becoming tough again, and as I watch things fade, I commence the arduous chase. Meanwhile, I'm not quite sure just how many miles my body can take. The thing is, I can betray myself and it doesn't hurt that much. I can surrender my objectivity to feed the little gremlin inside. That's who I am now. I devour the boundary between optimism and despair like mint chocolate ice cream, and the gremlin smears. Recently, I've realized that one of the worst traits on planet Earth is boredom. It's near existential for me, but I think I've grossly underestimated the dynamic that ensues from it. For sure, the seed, it starts as harmless, right? But many travesties arise from a bored mind. A mind lusting for something, for anything, to keep it moving. I don't feel real right now. I'm sleepwalking through these final weeks like there's nothing to say. There's nothing to realize, nothing to appreciate. I am feeling hurt though. And wait, there goes the pain palette again. I'm attempting to create and destroy in the same breath, and I'm not very good at it. Something is dying, and I'm not sure if I would just rather go with it. As is the nature of love and loss, right? Sometimes I wish that God made me that bit more fixed. maybe then I would have that little bit more grit, that little bit more certainty over who I am and what I want. Instead, delusion, it mirrors me. So I welcome it. I continue to embrace my small crevice, tiny habits, and mini experimental power. It serves something within me, even if said something is barely hanging on for dear life.